Father Derek from the Diocese of Kamloops, and behind me I have the Transfiguration. Now I want to share with something very interesting. Do you remember the people that were up with Jesus on the Mount of Transfiguration? The three of them were Peter, James, and John. And of course Elijah and Moses appeared as well. But Peter, James, and John, keep that at the back of your mind. Now there are 4 Gospels. And the Transfiguration is written in the Gospel of Matthew, the Gospel of Mark, and the Gospel of Luke. But it's not recorded in the Gospel of John. Now, do you remember who are the 3 people up there? Peter, James, and John. Not Matthew, Mark, and Luke, the ones that wrote about the Transfiguration. So why is it that John, who is actually up on the mountain, who actually saw it with his eyes, he doesn't write it in his gospel? But Matthew, Mark, and Luke, who were not up at the Transfiguration, they write it in their gospel. John, why didn't you put it in? You would have been the right person because you were there. Did you not have enough ink in your pen? Did you forget about it? Why did you not put it in your gospel? Interesting. So the idea behind it is that John has a certain theology. Remember, his gospel is not just a narration of chronological, it's more theological. So for John, he's got a whole different view of glory as the Transfiguration reveals the glory. Because if you read his gospel carefully, the Gospel of John, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God, and the Word became flesh and dwelt amongst us, and we saw his glory. And then you get to the wedding of Cana in chapter 2. The disciples saw the water turned to wine, and they saw his glory. And so what's happening for John is the glory is right in the flesh, just as he becomes incarnated in the flesh, and he shows the miracle of the water turning into wine. And so the glory is right in the flesh. And for John to put in the Transfiguration would be an overkill. It's like having glory on top of the glory. When you already see the glory in the flesh, when he becomes a baby boy, when he turns the water into wine, you already see the glory. So no need to put in the Transfiguration because it would be, as I say, an overkill. And so for John, he doesn't need to put the Transfiguration in because the glory is right in the flesh. Even when he dies on the cross, he said, just before he dies, Jesus says, glorify your Son. And so the glory is right in the flesh for the Gospel of John.